All right, what's up, guys? Anthony here, Special Analysis. Welcome to the video. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Martin Luther King Day. I want to show you what my personal trade plan would only allow me to take, right? So depending on the way that you desire to trade, you're going to create a trade plan. At the end of the day, you're either a pullback trader, you're a momentum trader, you're a correction trader. Like, you have to decide what you are, right? Like, I can't tell you what to be. I can just simply tell you what I am, because for me, it's all about the risk, right? Like, I want to take the absolute tiniest risk possible, because if I'm wrong, and I'm going to be every once in a while, I don't want it to hurt, right? Like, you don't want to sting so bad that you don't want to come back and take the next trade. Now you're starting to second guess yourself, and your butt hurts, and you're like, man, you start questioning everything, right? You're like, is my plan fucked up? Am I fucked up? Like, what is it, right? Like, you should be able at any given point in time to take a screen like you see in front of you and know exactly where your trade is going to happen. Okay? So I'm going to show you where my trade would happen. I'm going to show you the risk. I'm going to show you the reward. And if it makes sense to you and you'd like me to do this for you in real time, that is a potential, right? Like, I interview my potential clients. We have a conversation for two reasons. One, if you're not going to get any benefit out of what I bring to the table, you're wasting my time and your money. And that just doesn't make any sense to me, okay? That's the biggest thing. The second thing is, if you're going to become a burden to me because you don't know what a candlestick is, no disrespect, you have a long way to go until you get to working with somebody like myself, right? You're not coming to work with somebody who guesses. You're coming to work with somebody who has a very, very disciplined, very structured checklist trade plan, right? I am a momentum trader. I trade based on momentum after certain criteria have been proven to me. So I'm going to show you in this image, and this is something you guys should be practicing every day. You should be pulling up a chart, looking at it and going, does my trade exist, right? Because maybe it doesn't. There's more often than not, I'm sitting on my hands, just be like, all right, I'm going to hang out and see what happens. But push come to shove, when the trade comes along, I am ready to execute, right? I got everything on my screen. I know exactly what I'm looking at. I'm monitoring liquidity. I'm looking at volume. I'm looking at price action. I want all my momentum indicators intact, telling me that there's a better than not chance on multiple time frames the market is going to continue to either fall or rally. And if it's not, I'm not interested in taking the trade. It's that simple, right? There's no guesswork here. It's ABC, 1, 2, 3. If it's not in line, we don't take the trade. So let me show you my trade setup based on this current price action. So the first thing I look for in a downtrend, believe it or not, is resistance, right? I want to know, where do the buyers step back in and the sellers ultimately deny them. So all my criteria has to be in line. So if I look up and down the chart, I should be able to go, okay, my modified MACD is doing what I want. My higher time frame averages doing what I want. My VWAPs doing what I want. My fast moving averages doing what I want. Volume doing what I want. Okay, so once I find all of those things, then it's just time to come in and dial it in, right? Again, remember, for me, I want to take the absolute least amount of risk humanly possible, right? So sellers break the prior low. You can see they kind of battle it out here with the buyers. They break, and then they start consolidating. They keep banging against this level here I just put in. I'll even drop it down a tick there. They keep banging. The buyers keep trying trying to overcome this level. And they can't. So they bang, 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 and nothing happens. Now, my setup is going to look different every time. I know that, right? But I also know what variations it's going to look like that's acceptable to me. Sometimes it's consolidation. Sometimes it's a correction, right? Sometimes it's just one single candle. But here nor there, like, I know exactly what it looks like. In this instance, it's a very slight pullback, okay? Bonk. All right, so here is my resistance. Here is my support. Here is my breakdown. Now, when I draw a vertical line on where I'm going to enter the market, this is my confirmation candle. This close tells me, hey, you better be ready to hit the sell button. Okay, so everything's in line. My modified MACD reading the way I want. Looking at my other screen, looking at higher time frames, everything looks the way I want. Okay, I come down here, my price action looks the way I want. Higher time frame moving averages, like I said, I've checked them all on my other screen. They look the way I want. VWAPs look the way I want. Okay, volume looks the way I want. I'm okay with this. Like, I'm good. Everything checks the box. So now I'm ready to take a short position. So let me show you what that looks like. So the close of this candle is where I want to enter the market. The close is at 87. I want to place my stop at the high of either the trigger candle or the one prior to. And that high comes in at 92. So I'm going to place my stop right there at 92 because, believe it or not, either I'm going to be right or wrong. And if I'm wrong, I want to lose as little as possible. So I'm going to stick that stop right up there. This way, no matter what happens, I'm still only risking a little bit. Okay? So let's just take a look at how this plays out. So I'm risking 5 ticks. If I'm wrong, I'm going to lose 5 ticks. That's it. Right? I can live with that. My first form of support is this daily pivot that I have marked off over here, which you can see gets filled in this candle. So the entry's at 7 o'clock. My first target gets acquired at 727. I have a 5.2 to 1 risk reward ratio. So I'm taking my first profit at 26 ticks while I'm only risking 5. As soon as I take a portion of my trade off, I'm going to take my stop and I'm going to move it to my entry. I'm no longer risking any money. Right? So no matter what happens next, either the market's going to continue my direction to my next target or it's not. If it's not, it goes against me. Crap happens. I get stopped out. No big deal. But if it continues, it now falls into a higher time frame, hand-drawn channel structure. This is something I provide for you that most people are not very proficient at. Right? Everybody's looking for the dancing unicorn to tell them where to buy and sell, but nobody knows how to do the analysis to take profit with a great amount of accuracy. Well, I do. And I'm not saying I'm always perfect. I'm not saying I'm always right. But if you're not proficient at doing it yourself and you don't have somebody doing it for you, you're missing profit taking opportunities. Sorry. Or you're selling into support or buying into resistance. It just is what it is, guys. You know, I'm just telling you. All right. That's an indisputable fact. So here we go. Take profit, 26, move our stop, 26 ticks, move our stop to break even, no longer risking anything. What are we looking for next? Our next target. Where does our next target come in? Comes in on this hand-drawn channel structure that, again, I provide for my clients. And it touches that structure right there. So now we've taken more profit at 63 ticks at a 12.6 to 1 risk reward ratio. Ultimately, the market reverses and comes back up. Notice what happens to my modified MACD. Right here on this candle, I've lost it. Guess what I'm going to do when I lose my modified MACD? I'm either going to tighten the crap out of my stop or I'm going to just close my position. All right? Or I'm going to just take more profit and see what happens. So, however you want to manage that, that's totally up to you. More than likely for myself, it's, okay, let's take more profit, see if the market keeps going, because ultimately now I'm looking for the big home run, right? Like I got more targets down here, significant targets. I mean, we're talking about 133 ticks. That's a 26.6 to 1 risk reward, 159 ticks, 174 ticks. Guys, at the end of the day, you don't know how far a market is either going to rally or fall. So if you are cutting yourself short and not leaving the maximum potential to transpire for yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? So this is what my trade setup looks like. I give my clients my copies of my charts. My charts are on their screen. My book maps for all the markets we look at, NASDAQ, S&P, crude oil, and gold, are all on their screen. That's shared with them as well. And it makes it really, really, really user-friendly to say, I wake up in the morning, I have an email waiting for me, and everything's provided. And then Anthony talks me through it from 8 to 11. So if you think you're qualified to trade with me, send me an email. We'll have a conversation. God bless, guys. Thanks for watching the video. please like and subscribe.